Hey everyone, Sasha here from Huntress. Now this is going to be an interesting one because I'm actually going to show you a demonstration of how to bypass MFA. We know in 2025 MFA alone is just not secure enough. Bad actors can be able to bypass it quite easily. Even simple conditional access policies, when it does that criteria check before the sign-in, can also be bypassed now that we've seen. But I do want to be able to show you this because we know a majority of our partners and their end customers just utilize MFA. We want to be able to showcase that you need a detect and respond tool such as the Huntress ITDR to be able to minimize that risk. If the bad actor bypasses MFA, there's another layer of detection that can also be able to respond and kick out that bad actor and keep that end customer safe. So what have I got in front of you? So this does look like a lot, but we're going to break it down. I'm going to show you what it looks like from the bad actor's view, but also the target's view, the end customer's view, okay? There is a tool out there, there's many tools out there, but the one which I always love to talk about is EvilJinx. Now, EvilJinx is something you can download from the internet. You could be a master of it within 1 hour. I've got YouTube videos on how to be able to utilize it as well. So what happens is that they would download that tool, they would utilize it, and what it does is capturing your token sessions. Your token session is a combination of your username, your password, and MFA combined into one that creates a string, which is basically built for convenience for things like Microsoft, where a user could be able to log in for one time, and then after 20 minutes, they may close the browser, reopen it again, and they're still logged into 365. That is the session that the bad actor wants to be able to steal, so they can be able to mimic your login. So if we have a look at this, the threat actor will load their EvilJinx server and start loading the login page to trick the end user with. After that, the threat actor then loads the EvilJinx tool by running the so-and-so commands via PowerShell, as we can see. But before we go into the third step, look at this. We've got fishlets, which are templates. We've got authors. We've got the statuses, for example, and what's active. EvilJinx have predefined templates created that the bad actor could be able to pick one for their target. So in this case, we're picking 365, but we've also got things like Facebook, Twitter, Amazon, for example. We've got things like GitHub, Citrix, whatever it may be, because it's not just Microsoft that has a token session. All of these other companies also have a token session as well. It's built for convenience, but with convenience there are risks. So we can see the threat actor enables their phishing template, which copies the Microsoft 365 login page. So they then need to create a URL, a link. Now that link will be something that's going to be sent to the target. All the bad actor has to do is pick the template, craft a very convincing email that would want the target to be able to click on that. All of a sudden, let's just say, for example, there's an email that's been sent out, suspicious logins within Thailand. Click here if this wasn't you, for example. As simple as that. Imagine if you send that to 100 people, there's bound to be one person that's probably stressed, doesn't have time to read all the details and check the red flags, clicks on that email and just logs in. And hey, it happens every single day. So what's the next step? The end user. Now this is great because we get to show you not only the target, but also the bad actor's view as well. So the end user has been tricked. The end user clicks on that link. What they do, they don't see anything too suspicious over here. The URL looks okay. But again, the URL is one of the red flags that they should be looking out for. This is why security awareness training is incredibly important. Security awareness training will be able to help gradually decrease those clicks. But something like the ITDR will be able to pick up something instantly as soon as we see it. That's the great thing about the ITDR detect and response capabilities. So the end user clicks on the link. You can see that's not the real URL, but hey, it looks pretty much similar, and genuine users are not looking at the URL nowadays. So what's next? They don't see something suspicious. They enter their username, they enter their passwords, but that one thing the bad actor didn't have. They probably already have your username, okay? The email address is not hard to achieve. They may have your password with previous breaches, or especially if you utilize the same password with different websites. But what they don't have, because it's something that you actually physically have, which is normally your mobile phone, is your MFA. So after that, they've just entered their username, their password, their MFA. The page just refreshes. Sometimes it doesn't even refresh. It just goes to a 404. But this bad actor was a little bit nice and directs them to the real login page. Now what happens here? The bad actors, the end users probably none the wiser, be like, oh, I'm going to log in again. Something just odd just happened with Microsoft. Not the first time that's happened, but if we see this, it then reverts back to the real Microsoft login page. The bad actor has captured that string, that token that they needed to be able to mimic the login for that genuine user. So the threat actor has now captured the user's data, including the username, password, IP address. But look at this. We've got the fishlet, as I mentioned, that template. We've got the username. We've got the password. The token's been captured. We've got all of this information clear text, because what happens is that Evil Jinx is capturing absolutely everything from the target to the web page that they've designed, okay, which is that template. So the next thing, threat actor has all the information now, all the information to be able to mimic that login and be able to gain access to that user's 365 portal. So the threat actor now opens a browser with their own computer and actually loads the real Microsoft 365 login page. So from there, the actor goes into the 365 login page, opens a browser. Now what they're going to do now, which is really interesting, is they're going to copy that string and they're going to go into a cookie editor. Every browser has the ability to be able to do this. Go to a cookie editor and just paste the string there. So the threat actor pastes all the information into the cookie editor and ports this into the clean web browser. And voila, they've got access to 365. So what just happened? We have the username, we have the password, we have the token. Combine that all together gives us the token session as to what's needed to be able to authenticate the user into 365. The bad actor pasted that into the cookie editor of the browser, refreshed the page, and because they have the right information, they're able to authenticate without any issues. The session is there. And they've just stolen that session. Now, what do you think they're going to do now? The bad actor. Do you think they're going to snoop around to see, oh, what should I steal? Or do you think within 2 minutes they're probably already making some damage or making some sort of persistence? Because they've got initial access. They've got initial access by gaining into 365. Now they need persistence. They need to stay within the environment for as long as possible to do reconnaissance, create a backdoor, for example. So as you can see, the threat actor refreshes their browser after the import of the logged in immediately. Right, moving on. Threat actor has now full access to the mailbox, in this case, a global administrator. Could you imagine if this was the CEO's 365 portal, that they gain access to the mailbox, they start spoofing emails, they start sending it to other partners out there. So not only have they affected potentially that organization, but they can spread to multiple organizations by sending malicious links to those organizations. And because it's coming from the CEO, in this case, with the scenario that I've just made up, they're going to be more trustworthy to click on that link because, oh, it's from the CEO. That's perfectly fine. That's the company that I've worked with before, whatever it may be. They want to be able to create some trust. And that's what we see a lot of bad actors do nowadays. Moving on next. Now, here comes Huntress. Huntress Managed ITDR creates an alert for the Huntress SOC team. Okay, they're going to start investigating. They're going to start reviewing that. So all the existing logins are revoked. The user's logged out. So that bad actor that has logged in is now being pulled out. And that's going to be including the threat actor, as we know. So, moving over that. The report, as you can be able to see it over here, we can see that the session token has been stolen. This is sent as a critical alert, okay, because we know that's an active threat right there. And we can be able to see that the identity has been, the session has been revoked, the identity has been disabled. And that's what we want. We want to be able to lock out that bad actor, being able to try and re-authenticate again. So the Huntress team removed the threat actor from the environment and disabled the user. Once that is done, remediation steps are provided so that you can make sure the threat actor will not be able to get back in. And that is what you want over here. Now, the last step is, of course, the remediations. And in our case, will be rotating credentials. Okay, it will be, for example, ensuring is there anything else that we see within the audit of that particular identity. Now, this is the great thing about showcasing this to your end customers as well. We are happy to be able to pass this over to you. We're happy to be able to educate on how to be able to build that story with them. But we need to educate and we need to continuously prove that MFA alone isn't enough in 2025. Certain conditional access policies is very easy to be bypassed. We need to prove that with things like demonstrations such as this, because There's one thing of saying it, but there's a very powerful element when proving it. And something like an evil jinx is one of the best ways to be able to showcase how easy it is to be able to bypass MFA. 5, 6, 7 years ago, MFA was bulletproof. Okay, it was very hard to bypass MFA. Now in 2025, with more sophisticated bad actors, technologies, products that are available for anyone to download and utilize, it gets incredibly easy to be able to utilize it. You can download it and be an expert within an hour with some YouTube tutorials. So that is what I wanted to be able to showcase. This shows the value of the ITDR, the detect response capabilities. What I would say, message us, message your account manager if you've got any questions, if you want to learn more about this, if you need to do any sort of conversations with your end customers, we can absolutely support you with that. Message me on LinkedIn if you've got any questions. But besides that, I hope you found this informative, and I'd like to thank you for listening.